Hey, 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 hey. Hello, everybody. Hello. I hope you're doing amazing. I'm doing amazing here on this final Friday of February 2022. It's the final Friday of the final. It's not final Friday, it's the final Monday. Alliteration is a beautiful thing, except for when you mess it up and you try to say final and Monday. It is what it is. I hope you're doing amazing. Welcome to Leadership Live 2022 with Dr. Renita and friends. And I am so excited to be back here with you again this week, talking marital and parental leadership. Yes, 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 yes. And Leadership Live, what is it? It is the sharing of journeys. Absolutely. Sharing of journeys that gets you to places of success, to happiness, to positivity, the hard lessons that you've learned. Sometimes when you screwed up and didn't do your life right and messed up potentially other people's lives, but hopefully you pulled it back together, right? But that is all it is. It's a sharing of journeys and lessons learned so that we can all become more successful and more impactful leaders. Who am I? I'm Dr. Renita. I am an educational leadership strategist, which simply means I love to work with aspiring and growing leaders to become more authentic in their leadership, empower their fellowship, and at the end of the day, have a greater impact on the world. I am also the founder and visionary of the Refining Life, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. I'm a wife, a mother of four, and that journey led me to write the book Stepmom, Trials, Tribulations, and Triumphs. I birthed two kids and I own two kids. What a journey it is. I am also the authoress of While You Are Sleeping, the Perfect Children of All Ages book. And what you see behind me here, Lead Like You magazine. I am the editor and chief of Lead Like You magazine, and I am so excited to be here with you today. I am a queen and a queen. I am a queen because I am. I am also a beauty queen. I am also a veteran educator, having served grades kindergarten through college. I am a speaker. I'm a motivator, a mentor, and a coach. I love leadership coaching. It's like my juice. I love doing that. And I'm so excited to be here with you today, back with our guest for February. He's been here with us for 3 weeks. We had a special guest on top of our special guest this month, last week. But this week we're back with the one and only.
How's everybody doing out there? I just want to say, this coming up this last final Monday, I enjoyed these conversations that we have had. We have opened up our eyes to a lot of things that we need to work on and have been working on as a couple. And I'm just gonna miss this right here, but I'm glad that you shared your stage with me and gave me an opportunity.
But will you tell them who you are?
And so I am Minister Jared Webb. I'm her husband. I am a veteran of the United States Army. I'm a father. I guess I am an educator too, as well. Yes, I'm an educator. And just a good-hearted person.
Oh, go for it.
And just enjoying my space in your environment.
I love it. But see, if nobody else will give you accolades, sometimes you just gotta go ahead and give it to yourself. Who's mad at that? I am not. But this week, so over the month, we've been talking about all kinds of things, familial and marital leadership. We've talked about, starting and setting the foundation. Right. We've talked about when hope meets reality, which actually was one of my favorite weeks because when the rubber hits the road, it's a whole different thing. Yeah. But then last week we had two amazing guests on with us, Norris and Tasha Richardson. Yes. Oh my goodness. We just talked about all the things.
Yeah.
We had a topic, but we talked about all the things. All of them. And so this week we're here to talk about Transformers. Now I know some of y'all were like, hold up, y'all talking about the movie? We might. But we're talking about Transformers because if you are in any kind of relationship that lasts over time,
right,
I bet you are a Transformer. So, honey, I'm going to ask you this. So, back in the day,
yeah,
did you own Transformers?
Of course. If you grew up in the 80s, on into the early 90s, you had Transformers.
You had Transformers.
Yes. If you was a male, you had Transformers.
And I know nowadays gender is a thing. And it's all kinds of things. Back in the day, a lot of things were a lot more split. So right. for our younger viewers, a lot of things were a lot more split, boy, girl.
Yeah.
And so back in the day, There were boy toys, there were girl toys.
toys.
Even though girls play with boy toys,
Right.
like it was a thing, but it won't talked about as much. So just for the sake of diversity and inclusion, know that we know. We just talk about back in the day.
Back in the day, when I was younger, not a kid in the
Hey.
mouth. Some days I wish. Something, I forgot the words.
I remember way back. Okay, sorry, I got it really excited. So, Transformers.
Yes.
Why did you want Transformers? What did you love about a Transformer?
Oh, it was the fact that here you have a toy that looked like a car. And so it's a car, but then underneath it was just robot. Just and arms, legs.
Okay.
And it had the arms, the legs, and watching the animated series, watching the cartoon, you would sit there and they had their own personality. Like they could talk, they had feelings, they had emotions, but yet in the blink of an eye, they turned right back into either a car, or train, or a plane, a gun, whatever they was when they want in a robot form. So it just was exciting to me. Just a big knowing that here you think I got a car where all of a sudden and then this whole ginormous robot underneath. So that was just exciting.
Can we feel the passion about the Transformer? Okay. So I knew of Transformers. I played with Transformers every now and again, like if I was around my cousins. Transformers were not my toy.
Right.
They weren't my juice. But I understood the concept of a Transformer, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that was too much work. You want me to make it do what it do?
Right.
Ain't got time. Give me a doll. Even though I had to work on her because her hair was not going to look a mess, and her outfit was not going to not be put together. But all this, you want me to? I can't even figure out how it goes. So I get the Transformer, but I was not a big Transformers fan. But in this instance, I love the idea of a Transformer.
Right.
And I love what you just said. So you have this entity that presents itself as one thing.
Right.
When you first get it, like you get it in the box and whoo, that's a smoking truck. It is a nice truck.
Right.
And then you get it and you play with it over time. And, for boys who already knew, or for children who already knew, you already knew it transformed into something else. It typically was even on the box to tell you how to transform it.
Right.
But that's not how it started. How it started was a truck.
Yeah.
And I thought about how this relates to marriage and families. Your marriage, your people present as a certain thing.
Right.
And I'm not saying people are getting catfished, even though catfishing is a thing.
Definitely.
Now, of course, that's a new term. So for my old school people who have never heard of catfishing, it's people who faking, like they look like something else or they are something else.
Right.
And they're not really that thing.
Right. Or they use someone else's picture.
Yeah.
To
say that's them, and then you meet them and they got not that.
They're not that, right.
That's catfishing. See, we're an equal opportunity definer here on Leadership Live with Dr. Renita and friends. Yes, we are. So I love the idea that, people present themselves as one thing. And the reality is that is who they are. They are that thing. They are the car. They are the truck. That's who they were in that moment.
Right.
They are happy to be a teacher, or they were happy as a military soldier. That's who they were in that moment. Right. That's really who they were. It's not faking the funk at all.
It's who they were.
It's who they were, and who maybe in some people's cases right now who they are. But then they keep living.
Right.
Or really that is who they are, but there's more to them. Because that's what the Transformer. It's who they are, but there's more to them. Ha!
Yes.
Come on now. Hi, well. So it's more to them. And so then they start to morph or transform into this other being. And it may be part of, maybe they didn't even know that was in them. Maybe they didn't know it. And then they start transforming into this thing. And then you're married to the truck. I married the truck.
Right.
I didn't marry a robot. Who and or what are you? And I think that that's something that we go through in marriage.
Right.
You married the truck. You married the teacher. You married the soldier. You married the doctor. You married The student.
Student.
Ah. Hello, somebody.
Right.
You married the basketball player.
Right.
You married the football player. You married a six-pack.
Yeah.
You married something that didn't have flabby wings. Oh, that's what you married. And then they transform into something else. How do you, and I guess this is a general conversation for us. How has it been? Because you married an assistant principal.
Right.
Who was a student.
Mm-hmm.
Who didn't have any kids. Who, what else was she? Who lived in a different city. She didn't live here. Who was a lot of pounds lighter. I'm not going to say how many.
Only 2.
Yes! 2 pounds lighter. She was different. How do you deal with the transformer?
Well, you have to understand if a mature individual, we're talking about a mature, if you're a mature individual, you have to understand that in life, you're going to hit stages. You were 26, 27 when we got married. Now,
Don't say it if you want to.
Well, don't be ashamed. You look beautiful. Nobody know how you really are looking at your face. But now you are older.
Yes.
And so life has changed for the both of us. But you have to learn to adjust to the life changes. I don't expect for you to be that same 27-year-old wife that I married almost 13 years ago. Because if you're still in that mind frame now at this stage in our marriage, then we're looking at a divorce. Because I don't want the same 27-year-old, because the way that you thought, how we dealt with arguments are different now. Mm-hmm. How we view life is different. Now we got a lot of the same values, a lot of the same morals, but we know we had to adjust some things.
Right.
How we think, how we react, because earlier some of our arguments were,
stupid.
And so if we still 13 years into this thing, we really been together for almost 14 years, but 13 years of married into this thing. If you still arguing over silly things and reacting the way that we were reacting at the beginning of our marriage, then that means we have not grown now. And that means we are both immature.
Mm-hmm. But then, let's look at 2. You didn't marry a beauty queen.
Right.
You didn't marry, really at that time, I would, even though I did some multi-level marketing things, you didn't marry an entrepreneur. Not a true standalone, nobody else helping, who also worked a full-time job, even though you did marry a student who was working a full-time job.
Right.
How? Because priorities have changed.
Right. Priorities.
That's been part of my transformer. My inside of me was these different set of priorities.
Right.
How do you give advice to men who are also, or spouses who are also dealing with a spouse who has gone through somewhat of a major transformation? Because I would basically say I'm not the person who I was then.
Right. And I look at it like you have a caterpillar. And as a caterpillar, you look at a caterpillar is, it's doing this thing. And then some caterpillars can be very beautiful caterpillars. There's some that are that you look at, oh, that's a nice looking caterpillar. But then that caterpillar goes, it only doing a certain amount of things. It can't fly, it can only crawl or slide on his belly and eat some leaves. But then that caterpillar goes into a cocoon.
A chrysalis.
Chrysalis.
We're gonna use the
chrysalis.
Proper terms.
My bad. Chrysalis.
We take it.
We're
bringing it
so we going
to the new millennium terms, because
chrysalis.
Back in the day it was a cocoon.
Yeah, it was a cocoon back in the day. So it goes into a chrysalis and then morphs into a beautiful butterfly. And now this butterfly can fly. It can spread its wings and it can go to other places. And now people look at a butterfly and say, oh, that's such a beautiful butterfly. You are like that. You know, you was already doing great, good things,
I was eating up some leaves.
but you had to go into a transformation form, and you transformed, and you came out, and now you're a beautiful butterfly. And what we have to understand as men, or just people in general, spouses, let me be correct, spouses, we have, or partners, we have to understand that you can, when your significant other is going through these changes, you have to support them. You have to be willing to understand that their change doesn't mean that they don't they're not the same person. They are becoming a better person. That butterfly still has the same DNA. It has the same, it's still the same structure. It's not the same structure, it's a different structure, but it's the same being.
It's the same being.
It's the same being. It just went through a transformation, and now it's coming out on the other side. So you sometimes, as spouses, when people start to change and go through changes, we say, hey, we losing them. But those the same ones that don't want to change who they are.
Yeah.
And don't want to change a change that happened. As you started to change, I had to make some changes because I got older. I went from being 22 to being 24 of these 13 years. So there were some changes that
You do the math. And he was not 22 when we got together.
that I also had to make, but also had to let you be that butterfly and not be afraid of you becoming a butterfly.
Now I think that's a key point there. That sometimes when transformation is happening, fear comes with it.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that, when I posted about today's topic, I put the quote, the only constant in life is change. Mm-hmm. It's the only constant in life. Everything is changing all the time. And we cannot be afraid of change. And it is scary because it is also, change is something we don't know what the change is going to be. We never will know until it's changed what the change is. So, and I bring her up all the time. I have brought this character up, I don't know how many times over Leadership Life, but I'm bringing her back up today. Her name is Elsa. Sister Elsa. She taught us so many great lessons between Frozen 1 and 2. But in Frozen 2, she goes into the unknown.
Right.
Transformation is unknown until it's done.
Right.
And the fact being that the only constant in life is change, it means that we are constantly in a state of transformation, or at least we should be. Actually, we are, even if we fight it.
Right.
We're constantly in this state of transformation. And we get to the transformation only to continue to transform. Mm-hmm. And in thinking about sustaining a marriage, we hadn't even got to the kids. Because let's be real. While we are in this constant state of transformation, so are they.
Right.
And so that means we have to do do the Mary thing.
Right.
In a transformative way. We have to do the parental thing in a transformative way.
Yeah.
And then also try to manage to have some bits of consistency. How the ham sandwich do you have consistency in constant change? I can only think of a few things. But I mean, and I think that's where things like routines come in.
Right.
As crazy as we're always like, dang, we're so sick of being in routines. But if we don't have routines, right. Then I don't know how we would ever have normalcy, because everything is constantly changing. We are constantly transforming. So we have to have certain routines and systems. But then we also are regularly revisiting those routines and systems. Because what if one day one of our children says, I don't want to do that anymore?
Right.
We have one child who has been doing something forever. It takes up our life in a positive way. But if she just one day says, I don't want to do that anymore, Lord willing, that's not coming anytime soon, if ever. I'm hoping she sticks with it.
Well,
but if she doesn't, then that change literally would change our life. And that's her making a transformation. We got a little person who does everything because she doesn't even know what she really loves yet. But one day she's going to pick a thing.
Right.
Or 3.
Or 4.
Or 5. And whatever those things are, she's going to want to wholeheartedly commit to. We're going to have to wholeheartedly commit to, while wholeheartedly committing to all the other things that we do for the other children. But then there's us.
Right.
For me, I love a system. I love to write it down. It got to be in a planner. It also has to be in my phone. Other people need to know it. I put up things like family calendars in the kitchen. Like, it's foolishness. I have no clue if anybody else in this house even likes that, but it works for me. And it's my way of thinking that I'm holding somebody accountable, even in this constant change. For you, dealing with this constant change and need for consistency and normalcy in change and transformation. For you, what is it that works for you, and how is it making a difference to us making it to the next day of marriage?
Okay. You still, like I say, you got just morals, values, and things that, your basic moral values. So it's just understanding that as we are changing and things are changing, like we say, the kids as example, we know that, hey, they're getting older, so we know we can't do things the way that we used to do things. Now, we still know we have those same values, we have those same morals that we're going to stick to, because this is who we are as Christians. This is who we are. So there's certain things, but we understand that now you're getting older. Right. So how we used to reprimand you, we have to change how we do it.
Right. It doesn't mean that we don't.
We don't. Right. We still going to.
Let's be real.
But it's going to be different. You know, when you were 3, we could pop you on your butt. Now that you're 11, we don't want to be popping you. We have to change how we do things. What's going to hurt you more? When I say hurt you, and I'm talking about physical, I'm talking about mental,
and help you to decide to make a change,
make a better.
I would say let's think about who might be listening to this. We want them to make a change on their own, so we have to get to that cycle.
So now we take away the iPad,
right?
We take away TV, because that's what hurts you. Not hurts you. That's what you respond to.
Right. That's good. That's what you respond to.
That's what you respond to. And so when it comes to us as a couple, what do you respond to more now? Sitting down, having a conversation about something, and getting that alone time, trying to separate. Like, you so busy with me, like right now, just trying to get you a weekend where you can go off on your own.
Who does that?
So you can rejuvenate.
Who takes vacation? Vacation. But that is real. I love the idea of what will you respond to?
Right.
Because as we are being those transformers, and so where we are transforming ourselves, we also want to make positive transformation into the world and our relationship and our children. What do we respond to? What do they respond to? What will cause them to desire to transform into the thing that is their best self, our best relationship, our most impactful selves? What will we respond to make those transformations? Because there's some things in us that, of course, have not yet been revealed. Right. God bless that we continue to have another opportunity to live another day to do the next thing. As we have learned, it's not always promised. We recently had a blow of somebody completely out of the blue. We get a call and they're not here anymore. Mm-hmm. They didn't get another chance for another day. So in these days that we do have, and these moments that we do have as individuals, as a unit, as a family unit, how can we not only respond to our own transformations, but also help activate transformations? because I do believe that we were partnered together for a reason, that we were paired together for a reason, for ourselves
Mhm.
and for those in our familial unit, and then even for those external people who aren't even a part of our immediate unit that we were chosen to attach to in some way. We are supposed to be attempting or doing our part in their transformation.
Right.
We are transformers,
Right.
and we are transformers.
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And that's just life. Because my thing is, if you are not transforming, that means you're not progressing. You're staying the same. I use that term, you're the walking dead. You're the walking dead.
Hey.
I mean, you're existing, but you're not living.
Right.
I mean, you have to be some transformation coming, especially as you get older in life. And as you marry, your marriage is gonna get older. Not old, but
not
you're
crusty.
right. You got a seasoned marriage.
Hello,
And
come on, seasoning.
a lot of things can change. Your intimacy, how you perceive with intimacy is going to change.
Right.
You know,
It's got to transform.
It got to transform. You know, you ain't gonna be the same. You ain't gonna be 20 years old. You're getting 50. So how you those things have to change.
Also, what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy.
Things
transform.
Things change, and we have to think that a lot of people get divorced because we ain't making a connection. But why you not making a connection?
Because you didn't transform.
Because you didn't transform. You still trying to do things like you 20 years old. Now that you're 40 years old, you're not going to be 20 anymore. So you can't do things like you're 20. Now you have to do things like you're 40 and 50.
Right. Transform.
Transform.
Yeah. So there's a song, and we're getting ready to wrap because, I told y'all we're getting bite-sized pieces this year. So there's a song called Sun and Moon, and it's about this woman who she wanted all of these different things from a man. And she got presented with these great guys. And she said, well, can you give me the stars and the moon and whatever, ever.
Mm-hmm.
And she ended up at the end of the song finding this guy who gave us a stars, he gave her the moons, he gave us a yacht, and she all these fabulous parties, she got to travel. But as time went on, that's the same thing they did all the time.
Mm.
Like, it never changed. These are literally the words of the song. It never changed and it never grew. And she awoke one day and she looked around and she took a breath and she realized, honestly, she got all these things, but she never had the moon. She wanted all these things. She wanted this fabulous life, right. But the true essence of life she would never, ever have because it never changed. That stinks because she changed. Right. And life changed. But their relationship never changed. Their activities never changed, and it sucked. So as much as we get frustrated with change and we're scared of change and we don't know what's going to happen with change, change is a beautiful gift. If you will allow yourself to be a transformer, right. And to be a transformer, and to be a transformer, use all that. That's what Leadership Live is. It's simply allowing things that have happened in life and changes that have occurred to be a transformer. Right. And to show transformation. Yeah. And that's it. That's what we got for you this week. Week 9.
Week 9.
Leadership Live 2022.
I said you was a butterfly, but you're really an eagle because you always soar.
Come on. Let's live this eagle life.
Hey, be an eagle. An eagle. Hey.
Okay, I'm gonna stop now. I love y'all.
Y'all have a nice day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
For being here this month.
Thank you.
We'll have a new guest next month. We'll talk about some more great things. Here on Leadership Live 2022, 12 months, 12 topics. It's going to be a great year. I love you. And as always, 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 keep your leadership all the way live. See you next week.